Hey everybody, welcome back to another professional Starcraft 2 broadcast. Today we're going to be looking at a Protoss versus Terran game, brought to you guys by HD, of course. And I'm excited because I haven't casted a Protoss versus Terran in a very long time. I think the last time I touched PvT was over a month ago. There's no distinct reason why, I just haven't found any good Protoss versus Terran matchups to bring out to you guys. But I'm proud to say that today I have, and this one is going to be between Complexity's Minigun, who has spawned over at the, what is this, the 3 o'clock on Icy Cup Test Bug, which is a 3-player map, by the way, guys. And down in the south position, we actually have Empire's Happy playing as the Yellow Terran. Now, note, this is not the same Happy as the Korean Happy who's on Incredible Miracle. That is a Korean pro gamer who plays for IM. That's not the same guy here. This is Empire Happy, who is a different Happy. This is a Russian player who is an accomplished European professional himself. So we've got a Terran versus Protoss for you guys here today, and I'm really excited because Protoss versus Terran lately has definitely been having a couple of shifts here or there, especially with patch 1.4. I recall seeing a game where a Protoss player had a Warp Prism. And I'm not even joking with you guys. Warp Prisms now are super buff. They're so fast. They're almost as fast, I think, as a Phoenix. So what this Protoss player did was he loaded up his Warp Prism with Zealots and started to proceed to fly into the enemy Terran's base. And he started to unload Zealots. He would deploy the Warp Prism, warp in some more Zealots, pick them up into the Warp Prism, and fly around. And it would just be like this annoying fly inside the Terran base. It would just be constantly pooping Zealots everywhere. And it was such a crazy strategy. It was so bold and so insane. And with the Warp Prism's new speed now, it's incredibly difficult to take it down. So it's basically like an annoying fly that flies around your base. I thought that was really cool when I saw that Protoss player doing that, and I was like, oh my god, we could have a revolution here. White Rose Special Tactics might have an extension. He might go into page 2 of his cookbook and start using Warp Prisms even more than he does now. And yeah, I was just super stoked about that. So Protoss versus Terran, a very, very interesting developments in that matchup nowadays. Anyways, we've got Happy and Minigun here, and I don't know what tournament this is from. This is a fairly recent replay, and I'm not entirely sure if this is from any kind of a tournament or if it was some kind of a Battle.net game, but regardless, we'll see how things go down. It is a best of 3, by the way, guys, just to give you guys a little bit of inside info. We do have a factory coming up here for Happy right away. Pretty common opening here for Terran players to open up with that fact. Also had a gas steal from Minigun. So he's looking to limit the amount of production that Happy can get on the tech tree. And that's not good for Happy because he did go for a factory opening here. And with the assimilator stealing the gas, Happy's not too happy about that. So he is going to try to take that thing down. Meanwhile, also sending an SCV with 5 minerals in hand to scout Minigun's base. But Minigun looks like he may be going for an expansion here off of 1 gate, which you can bust out on Icy Cup Test Bug for sure. So I think that's what he's doing. Happy actually going right into a starport here, guys. Huh. Interesting. Now, if he goes for Banshee, which almost certainly I would imagine, I mean, he could go for the 1-1 all-in now that I think about it. That's certainly one of the most powerful openings right now against Protoss. Although lately Protoss players have been figuring out how to deal with the 1-1 all-in to a certain extent and to a certain degree, so it's kind of fading out of popularity. But if Happy decides to open up with a cloaked Banshee here, that would really be unexpected from Minigun's point of view, because remember, Minigun went in here, stole the gas, basically limited the amount of tech that Happy could get, and usually Terran players aren't going to go for that cloaked Banshee if their gas was stolen, because if you think about it, their Banshee is going to be so much later, or their cloak. And look, Happy not able to get cloak. He is going for cloak Banshees, but he's not able to get cloak and the Banshee at the same time. So very delayed cloak Banshee here. However, it may work out really well if Minigun's not prepared for it. He just lost a probe in the middle of the map on that Zelnaga tower, but you know what? I think Minigun may be prepared. He's got a robotics facility coming up, so he is going to have observers. All right. So maybe it's not, you know, doomsday, the end of the world here, but there is a Banshee on the way, and there is Cloak on the way as well. Happy now moving into a command center of his own. I'm really curious about the position of that factory. Kind of makes it vulnerable to stalkers and such, and also if Marines try to save it, then a force field can just plop down right there. Kind of interesting spot for the factory. I don't know what he's planning with that, but We do have the Protoss player right now on 3 gateways and a robotics facility. He has chrono boosted an observer on the way. The Banshee isn't even out yet. It just popped out right now. Cloak is going to finish about the same time as the Banshee moves out. And the Banshee is going to reveal itself on the Stalker, ladies and gentlemen. So Minigun totally knows what's going on now. He may not know if there's Cloak or not, but it doesn't really matter because he's got an observer out anyways. In fact, where is that little guy? Observer. I don't know where Happy's observer went. I know it's so hard to find those things sometimes. There it is. Okay, it kind of looks like a probe, but Minigun does have his observer over his main right now, so looks like the Banshee is going to pre-cloak here, go right into the natural, does a little juke maneuver right there. I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to avoid those little pylon things, but he's going to go in there and he's going to pop off 1, 2, 3 workers so far, not bad at all. 4 workers so far, and possibly gonna kill a Stalker as well. Now, remember guys, Happy has got to do damage with this Cloak Banshee. He opened up with a 1-1-1. He needs to justify the cost of this Banshee, and right now he's certainly justifying it to me. 7 worker kill, or 6 worker kills, or 5 or so worker kills, and a Sentry and a Stalker to boot. And of course stopping all mining at the natural right now. So I think Happy has kind of equalized the game a little bit, considering Minigun did open up Nexus first after Gateway. The Banshee did eventually go down though, so Minigun finally swatting the fly out of the air, but another Banshee was actually doing damage all the while. Got 2 worker kills of his own. Falls out of there with red HP, so that Banshee is red barred, but it could be repaired. Very aggressive take to the sky so far from Happy. And, you know, able to do a little bit of damage here or there. It wasn't anything game-ending or major, but certainly an annoyance in Minigun's side. And now Minigun teching straight into Colossi off of 3 gateways. That's kind of risky. He's not going to have much of a gateway backbone for his Colossus. So, you know, he's really going to want to add on a couple more warp gates in a few minutes, and I hope he does. Right now, Happy is sticking to the very standard Bio Ball. Marines and Marauders also going to have hopefully going to have Stim done pretty soon. Oh, Stim and Conch Shells, and it looks like Shields are about to be done. So Shields are on the way right now. So Happy looking pretty good. Also very curious about that Raven he has in his mixture. Terran players who get Ravens nowadays it's kind of cool. It gives you that defensive option of a point defense drone, which can deal with Stalkers very, very effectively, and it protects your Marauders from the Stalkers. It allows you to cleave through the fodder units underneath the Colossi, and then you can go right for the Colossi without having to deal with any of those Stalkers. So on top of that, it also gives you that nice little handy dandy detection, which Terran players kind of like, especially since Protoss can open up with the Dark Templar. And Minigun now with 2 Colossus on the front of his natural, has +1 weapons, excuse me, and Thermal Lance about to finish. Looks like he might be doing something here. No, he's just pushing the rocks in the middle. Okay, I like this. On this map, guys, there is a feature where you have to destroy the rocks around the Zelnanga Tower, but these rocks are super rocks. They're like armor 3 rocks. So with a lot of HP, so it takes a while to blow them down, but once you do, you can get control of towers for the mid and late game, which is really handy to have. But yeah, it looks like he almost got those rocks down. A Banshee here revealed itself, apparently, and Minigun all over that. Doesn't want to lose any more workers. Has his Stalkers in the back of his natural, and this Banshee, you know, hasn't been able to do much more damage. So far, Minigun's defense against the Banshee has been pretty solid, except for the first couple of minutes. I think for now, Minigun has the anti-air on lockdown, and he is gearing up to push across the middle, it looks like. And once again, Minigun's army doesn't have, oh man, the scan just go down, doesn't have a very big gateway fodder ball. And the scan, I think, might have revealed just the perimeter of that. I feel like if Happy wanted to, he could push out and he could probably crush that Protoss ball. There's just not enough gateway units here, and Minigun realizing that adds on 2 more warp gates, and he needs to quickly, with the haste, start to cycle out some Stalkers and Zealots and Sentries. Oh my god, that Banshee, I take it back, the Banshee has been very annoying this game. Happy all over it. He's coming in whenever that Protoss ball moves out, and he snaps off a couple of probe skills and then flies away. Is he gonna lose this Banshee? Is he gonna cloak? Doesn't matter, there's an observer there, and it gets picked off, but it does get a timing on the 3rd Nexus, and oh my, whoa, Happy! Is it a misclick? It's not a misclick. Happy here, moving out as soon as he saw the 3rd Nexus going down. This is the best timing you could possibly think of, and he's bringing all of his SCVs off the line as well. This is incredibly brilliant or insane. You know, it's kind of cool because 400 minerals here on that Nexus that is not in the army right now. And Happy here, he's saying to himself, you know, this is a timing push, but hey, if I'm going to make a push, I might as well just make it a push to go all the way, all 4 bases for the home run. He's pulled all of his SCVs off the line. I can't believe this is so ballsy. I think he may actually have enough to do this, and Minigun now pulling probes of his own to fight off the SCVs, and Minigun's just going to GG. Whoa, what a quick conclusion to that one. I thought for sure we were going to have like a macro game where we're going to go into 3 base versus 3 base, but all of a sudden Happy's like, you go Nexus, I go all in. And it incredibly worked, like, perfectly. He still had SCVs back here. They weren't even on auto repair. They were just there to fight. What a ballsy move. What a mindset. I mean, it's like, if you're going to make a timing push, you might as well push all the way for the home run, and he did it. So great play, I guess, by Happy, and I don't know, it was super risky. Luckily that Minigun didn't have that many ground forces, but it worked out well, and Happy is going to take the first game against Minigun. We're going to have, this is a best of 3, so we're going to have another game coming up after this, guys. Stay tuned. Game 2 coming up. HD signing out.